from source to subsequence. Come, my love, come and sit beside. Take leave, your lengthy labours rest. Abide in peace for but a moment's time. List to me upon this your new day dawning, and worry not for ardour of your constant climb. Put away all cares, your rivals striving, though ever blest, contriving one 'gainst the other yet, and I will give to you a peace certain. For even it is I that in your sorrowed misgivings have borne you long upon these tides. Of ages old, as babe in arms, your struggled aeons 'neath my watchful keep, that ere behold you stand upright, lay steeped in troubled time. And yet I held you safe against the night, and sure as pushed you from the womb did guard as charge, your ways made safe in suckling's plight. And when in infant's throes, beset with woes to suffer every beast its mortal might, though coward face turn humble earthward low, did grant you sight to see the earth its wondrous ways, and there find meet in heaven's mirrored measure sowed, that so might lift you from the fray, and keep you in the light. So set you then on moon and star, such signs 'twould guard in symbols fair your fertile rites, and upward turned in veneration, sought in awe what force in earth might yearn from seed to harvest o'er the nights. 'Twas thus of me, in reverence met with wonder intertwined, did seek you first my ways of solstice light. And so, for every way or beast, what power be that hold in sway your fragile peace, or lay upon you thoughts inspired, was image made as to retain to your desire its heart, and held within your reach that you in triumph might contain, and unto heaven so aspire. Your visage own its place among your symbols in their heights. No longer then the bairn at bay, but rooted firm, and stayed the land from feral flight, become as one with life in earth, yet did not see, as sure as from its dust was formed, but errant deemed through self-esteem, not way of will, but craft of man in mind akin, and so for symbol sore mistook your image for the light. And thus perceived, though knowing not, was way of thought conceived in kind your primal sight, that so related unto self, of same be known in kindred, wrought what deeds, or power held at bay, or force be known thereof its might, what for your lot be so assuaged through image in your like, and so construed be then imbued and taken as forthright. Survival's child of winsome wont, in manner meet as would bequeath by right unto your own, down through the days their learned lore recite. In legends lay was symbol born, but in bold youth did take for truth, the twain confused could then not rue its measure to your plight. For unto each imperfect shoot of bough brought forth thereof its fruit in ways diverse, contrary of its type, in turn perfection come of change, and so for same is seed of man perturbed of time and lands distant, and thus each eye unto its own, interpreting the light, yields symbols strange from one to next, yet think it recondite, and therefore seen as separate ways, where one to others seem portrayed not comely in their sight. For wherein sign for self misled be stead as token for the truth, will one unto the next impute for grievance given to their cause, and for their difference make decree as be against the other's worth, and yet be naught but vanity, emboldened to requite. So on and on into the years, in hopes and fears behind your symbol's shield unite, in blood and tears your story told, of wicked wrought with weapons wield, what wondrous gift of life bestowed, laid squandered low by ways of wanton wile and strife. For by your hand, as writ with woe, did scribes derive from air their cause, as legend's lore indite. 'Twas thus your yearning turned astray from learning way of symbols' patient postern path, seduced by power of gain's desire, confused in fervent rites. For what invokes devotion's love may well evoke emotion's wrath. What want would covet for the self through ritual blood and sacrifice, of old was where, through sorrow seen, and tribute paid, for life consumed for life. For dire be told was rancor spawned from legend's long meandering strains, embellished over pyre and flame in deeps of gathered tribal nights. What valorous tales of hunt extolled, become the ire of warrior's song, transformed survival's call to qualm, and fraught between thine own and others. Dominion thus o'er them you sought, and so took up the fight. And yet I held you safe against the night. For though your will be yet of heart, but for your youth still be of lesser mind, that sees the needs of self to keep for peril's eye, seeing naught but enmity in brother to your blight. And as your light be yet uncouth, for these your part, in patience met, did grant reprieve for so naive of that your counsel, taken in your slight. For 'tis the nature born of flesh, as so the mind, that beasts should meet in bitter strife where fit survive, and thus your will be so entwined from time untold. For this your mental prowess be of body born, as well as light, and by your wits did rise above o'er all the rest, till none be left. So pray you then upon yourselves, as beasts of craft, and none contrite. So what be this? What moves the will to weal or wane should keep your heart in malice long? What primal need for symbols hold, when icon, rite, or talisman in apathy doth either serve? Indifferent as to consequence or purity of sight, would hearken thus to lust or love. Then whither wend your vision, unto shadows or in light? Still see you not that mind of man sees what it can't through course of sign, there in its plight, yet so resolves the all unto the self and its reality, and as perceived does so conceive, and thus bring forth through symbols slight such mysteries achieved in like as that unseen. Thus risen up are prophets then, and heralds of the light. As well this way comes scholared sage, with thought and gaze affixed would seize the secret yield of starry night. Through symboled math equate to fact what truth be hitherto alone divined, to then reveal of spheres afar what knowledge gained of subtle light did so appease mind's great appeal, its sterling proofs, and thereby hold in entity its laws within your sight. And therein your duality, whilst symboled still in severance yields your sight to severalty, is thus unto your nature true, begotten both of blood and light, and therefore hidden from your face, though signed, both reason and faith abide within your heart, as yet unseen as one redeemed, and thus in twain your wistful ways depart, and ere the one the other do indite. For by this veil is will concealed, thus cast apart, the self in hollow candor does its counsel keep. Then certain for your callow zeal, in unawares you seed insight. For some their empathy of heart abate, and in its stead would hubris hold, then thinking it defence of faith would heap on others condemnation, while some in vain disdain the soul to sanctify the erudite. So come, my love, and leave these ways. Let not your differences rebuke, nor castigate, nor steel your heart in consternation, nor let your signs suffice for truth. For such constraints as these are you made captive by your sight. Let not the means become the whole, for 'tis the journey, not the road, will bring you to your resolution, awakened to the inner light. Be not for your diversity estranged in heart from one another, for 'tis the same throughout creation, its every manifested form, from heaven's cosmic majesty to mysteries of the very least, within your sight would seem asunder, yet all in one abide. For all these be but forms of me through consciousness as well as thee. So seek in one another truth, but see not wrong or right.